with the Hood Mystic. Time to tap in now. You are now tapped in with the Hood Mystic. Your favorite mystic's favorite mystic. Your favorite astrologer's favorite astrologer.
Voting for Kamala after getting rid of Joe is like shitting your pants and then changing your shirt. Yeah.
Like, everybody needs to be woke. And you can talk about if you're the wokest or woker, but just stay more woke than less woke. Yeah. And you can talk about if you're the wokest or woker, but just stay more woke than less woke. Yeah.
No, I won't. You always make things better, honey.
I'm glad, baby.
You're the nicest nigger I ever met.
You better go on now.
What? What's wrong?
Just go on. Your folks are waiting on you. Go on.
Everybody dies, but not everybody lives.
Time to tap in now.
My mind right, money right, yeah. Ready for war, nigga, we ready for y'all.
You are now tapped in with the Hood Mystic.
Not the cap.
You are now tapped in.
Let me see those hands in the air.
You are now tapped in with the Hood Mystic.
I project myself outside of myself, and I talk to myself when I'm speaking.
Peace to the tribe and the tribettes. Niggas like, what's a tribette? That's a tribe full of divine feminines. Peace to y'all. Peace to all the hunter and gatherers. Peace to all the truck drivers. Peace to all the Wendy's drive-through workers. Peace to all the call centers, but you don't work at a call center no more. You work from home, so your kids is yelling in the background. Peace to all y'all. We have a wide variety of spiritual seekers on the channel, and I say peace, ashe, and divine abundance and prosperity to all y'all. We're here for an action-packed show, man. I got an action-packed show. I got lower thirds. I got videos. I got screenshots. I got your baby mama. That would be something, man. Get on the stream yard and it's your baby mama there, like, what's all this spiritual shit you've been talking? But anyways, let's get to the getting tos of the getting tos. What are we here to talk about? And let me get my lower thirds together, y'all. Let me get my lower thirds together. Before we get into the lower thirds, god damn it. Blue Magic pre-orders going off the charts. Thank y'all for y'all support. But at the same time, thank you for taking it seriously, because you know black people love to say, man, I'm broke, I ain't got nothing. You know I'm broke. Yeah, I got $20 in my pocket, nigga. I ain't don't ask me for shit. I ain't got nothing. We ended all of that. Part of Blue Magic is the declaration that you on a pathway to becoming rich. So if you're not on that pathway to becoming rich, guess where you on your pathway to becoming? And it ain't funny, but we gonna laugh. Nigga, I'm broke as hell. I ain't got shit, nigga. I got 2 coins to rub together, man. Yeah, I ain't got nothing. If you're tired of being broke, you're tired of, going through the same rigmarole, jobs to job, career to career, call center to call center, home, remote job to remote job, please tap into Blue Magic. Even deeper, tap into the Substack. That's not funny. That's real shit right there. That is not funny at all. Let me move this out the way. Yeah, man, pop your ass over to the Substack where we got a lot of good things going. Link is in the description. Maybe it's not in the description. I don't know. Y'all figure it out one way or another. If you interested, is the White Rabbit Substack one of the frontier leading Substacks ever. Plus, I'm previewing the book in the Substack, so if you want to get a sneak peek for as little as $5, there's even some free articles on there that you could just kind of get a gist of what we're talking about. But it's nothing going to be a ordered book, physical book that you can take notes in, that you can get your mindset together. Because once again, it might seem inconsequential, but if you don't have your mindset in order, what the fuck do you really have in order? And what life just feels like fate and you have no control, versus understanding that you have a soul and you have control, right? Today, we're going to talk about something completely different, though. We're going to talk about how we are cooked as a society. The mathematics of the day is Wednesday, Mercury day. On the chart, Mercury will be conjunct Venus. This is August 7th, 2024. And all I can say is August 6th was a crazy ass day. One's in the chat if August 6th was a crazy ass day. I had to do a daily energy reading today because the question was, what the fuck is going on with the planets? These niggas is cooked, fried, dyed, and laid to the motherfucking side. What is up with these people, y'all? Was August 6th a crazy ass day, or was it just me? One's in the chat if August 6th was wild. Okay, maybe it was just me. All right, let's get into. Let me share my scrizzle. I gotta stay on top of these lower thirds. Let me edit that up. Let me get in the proceedings so you can see your boy. Got that. Boom. All right, you see me. Now I'm gonna share my screen one time for the 2 time. Show us this damn transit for the day. So everybody know what we looking at right now. We looking at the transits of the motherfucking day. Let me go ahead and throw myself over here, blow this up, because we about to blow up as a collective, right? Crazy ass day, crazy ass energy. Okay. Crazy ass day, crazy ass energy. And if it's going good for you, it's going Gucci for you, you should have a YouTube channel too, giving us the goddamn secrets ones in the chat. Cause they was on my ass yesterday. What the fuck? Like nigga, y'all niggas need to relax. Like I'm so happy I'm into this spiritual work. Cause I would have been in jail yesterday, yo. Like real talk. Listen, with me, when I'm on that type of time, I got two options: the jail or the hospital. And I can't believe, and I'm just the type of person, man, I got 5 kids working on 6. You feel me? I got 5 kids working on 6, and motherfuckers want to act like they got a problem with me. Listen, it's so wild to me that I have to look at the stars and observe what have gotten people so goddamn keyed off into like, people can have valid reasons for how they feel, but you got to swallow that shit a lot of times because what the fuck? Niggas be having more problems than a little bit, acting like somebody else's they problem. So I had to get into the science of it. We're looking at we're looking at a T square, and we're also looking at Leo energy because Mercury, Venus, and the moon is in Leo. Now, Leo is a wonderful spot for success. It's a horrible spot for shadow work or lack of shadow work or lack of spiritual development. Like, if you want, it's like the energy of Beyonce versus a crackhead on the streets. And a lot of black people teeter that line, ones in the chat. You got a lot of aunts and uncles, or some aunts and uncles, or a few aunts and uncles, or one that used to have his shit together till he started smoking that damn crack and he ain't never recovered. You like, damn, whatever happened to Uncle Tyrone? He used to be in the NFL. Yeah, you on the corner smoking crack. We have that capability, and that is the Leo energy. That is the Kundalini energy. That is the ability to see yourself for your greatness or just crash out. So if you don't understand that within yourself, it's going to be things that I'm talking about within the world. But then I also want to bring it back to you because when we look at the sun and the second deacon of Cancer, we're talking about an abundance. And I always say it's a dark side to abundance. You can have an abundance of goddamn drama, stress, unfulfilled. You know how people be going for shit and it don't happen for them and they want to be mad at the world, you included. That's pretty much what Mercury conjunct Venus and Leo, like what you really desire, what you really want. Is you on the process of getting it, or did you miss out on it? Can you get back on track? All of these questions then resolve into Kundalini work, right? When you look at the moon opposed Saturn, a lot of the emotions are centered basic in, like, if it feels bad, if you feel enraged, if you feel angry, the biggest problem with your negative emotional state is that it's built upon the foundation of a lie. So you're building a lot of fat, you're building a lot of tenacity, tension over something that's not even true. So, like, and this could be something that you're dealing with, but it also could be something that people around you are dealing with. They believe in a fundamental lie. Think about how crazy that is. At the fundamental basis of your reasoning, of your logic, you know what I'm saying? You think that God is outside of you, and it can go further on and on and on. And this creates the overall mindset of melanated people. And when you talk about Leo energy, when you talk about Cancer energy, all of these represent like big mother energy, when you look at the lust card or strength in the Rider Tarot, it is a woman or perceived to be woman. I don't know how in these decks it's always a weird type of energy. Like, well, that look like a clear to be woman. I don't know if y'all hip to Ubria. If y'all into tarot cards and y'all melanated and y'all be like, I want to tap into like a melanated tarot card, this is the one right here. This is the one right here. This is Ubria. I'll put it in the chat. Get this deck. I don't even know if you can get it online. Maybe you can, but look for it. Ubria melanated tarot deck, one of the best tarot decks ever. Because it's all melanated people in it. But Leo, this is a feminine melanated woman. It is like, to me, the personification of this particular energy is Beyonce, hands down, right? Like, I see all Leo energy when I'm looking at Beyonce. So back to Mercury being retrograde too. In this first decan of Leo, we're talking about the Five of Wands. And the Five of Wands is the card of strife. It's the card of battles. And a lot of times when we look at the tarot, we can externalize it, but I would more or less internalize it and just kind of figure this part out. What is your internal moral conflict? What is your internal moral narrative? Are you at odds with yourself? Because when you are at odds with yourself, when you are young, when you're 30, 31, 32, 33, I promise you cannot see how it is you that are the reason for your negative disposition. You'll swear to God it's your parents. You'll swear to God it's your boyfriend. You'll swear to God it's your kids. You'll swear to God it's because you haven't made the career or your job is not allowing you to succeed or all of this type of stuff. But you got to understand that you have a natural course for your life that doesn't involve conflict. A natural course of your life that is much to do about an integrated higher self. And when you integrate that higher self, you reduce that conflict within yourself. So many people are living in their mom's basement, mad at their mom. One's in the chat. Your mom paying all the fucking bills, not asking you for shit, but somehow she fucked you over in life. When we talk about blue magic, not to get off subject, but to kind of give it to where my thoughts have come to this subject, which is wealth magic, money magic, it's hard for people to teach their kids about money because it is so deeply tied into your thought forms. And when you have a parent that is well off, you expect that person to do a lot for you, provide a lot for you, and maybe it is their disposition to be generous. So in that generosity, they're actually making you weak. To whereas if you ain't never, like, I don't have no family that I can rely on. So it's people that I know, grown ass people that I know that have family with money and they can't fucking figure it out well into their 30s. You know what I'm saying? Deep into their 30s, and they still in that space that they was when they was 18, desperately needing their parents to survive. Right? And the reason why you desperately need your parents, like, you can be deep into your 20s and need your mom and dad. You live with your mom and dad. Like, you need them because you're at war with yourself. And so when you're at war with yourself, the problem with being at war with yourself, and this is the jewel in shadow work, you cannot fight yourself. You cannot beat yourself up. So guess how these people generally look? They look good. You know what I'm saying? They look fine. They have a cherry disposition. But when you are on the spiritual path, not even spiritual, personal, life path, you have to individuate. You have to get up out of that realm of thought and develop your own thinking patterns that lead to successful manifestations. You know what it says when you're not able to get out the house? It says that you're not able to think at a level to manifest something that you desperately need. And it's okay to like take advantage of a situation, but this is accountability. Accountability is how do your actions hurt another person? Most people do not factor in how you as a child have obstructed your parents' view or vision for their own lives. And this is so psychological that it begins to familiarity breeds contempt. So your mom being a Christian, right, gives you the right to disrespect her because you watch Bobby Hemmett videos, Brother Panic videos. Now your mama is an ancient bitch that don't really know nothing. You've been watching Kevin Samuels, and now mom, you really ain't shit for real because where's my dad type shit. So you get into these thought forms that you feed, but at the same time, the crazy part is you dependent on this person. Inner fights create external fights, and that's the name of the game. It might not be like this all the time, but I like these lessons because if you correct these lessons, it will become a point where you master this. You know how many times during the tarot, early in my tarot career rather, I would pull this card and I would be more or less flummoxed with anxiety of not really fully understanding. Because why? At that time, I was dealing with my own inner conflict. As a young man, I had an enormous amount of inner conflict that I could not sort out within myself. So, of course, my mother is the problem. Of course, my friends are the problem. Of course, I don't like Columbus. Of course, it's the government. And then what's going to exacerbate it? Conscious niggas online. Thought bubbles, echo chambers that say, oh yeah, the government bad, me good. You don't accept accountability. And the problem with not accepting accountability, you can't tap into your own personal magic to say, oh, I can manifest whatever it is that I want because I'm accountable. Whatever I say I'm gonna do, I would have to be accountable for what I said I'm gonna do. And if I can't do it, I have to send you a refund. But other than that, you begin to set your price. Set your price, live your life. And in Blue Magic, we get into a lot of how to actually do it outside of, damn, I just really wish I can get some money one day. What's a good spell for money? What's a good spell for money? No, it's a real specific science. And I hope that those who have been participating on the Substack have been reading, getting to the bottom, getting to the crux of it, and get into the joy of like figuring these things out. Right. So another aspect that I want to talk about before we get into some content is the five of wands, and what it actually means when we're dealing with what we're dealing with as far as like the world, economic collapse, right? They're gonna scare you with all of this shit. And I said in my new moon video, they're about to come with the psyops, right? And as soon as I got off that video, I did that video on a Sunday. On Monday, the goddamn market collapsed, right? 2.9 or 6.9 trillion dollars erased. But we're going to get into why that possibly is a good thing. So the fives represent Gabora, which is the surgery of cutting away, which if you say, I'm going to cut something away from you, you will feel like, no, don't do that. But then if it's a tumor, right, that means that it becomes life-saving. Your job is trimming the workforce because it don't need all of the people at the job. It might suck for you that's getting fired, but to the job, they balancing their books. and they turn in a profit as a business. Your ass got to get another job. Your ass just got laid off. It ain't shit that you can do about that until you create your own business and start employing other people. Do you feel like you cannot do that? Then guess what? You cannot do that. But do you have to be, listen to how this country works. And I want y'all to really think about how amazing this country works. If you wanted to get a job right now, they would do all types of background checks, credit checks, all types of weird shit, interview, this type of deal. But if you wanted to start a business, you could do that right now based upon a good ass idea that people buy into. So sometimes you got a felony, you got all of this negative paperwork against you. Sometimes the only thing you can do is come up with an idea. You just got laid off from your job. You have to facilitate an idea and execute an idea. You have to understand money consciousness in a space that $10 that you have, you can turn it into 20 if you buy candy bars from Sam's Club. If you take that $10 and you buy food from Wendy's, that $10 is gone. Money consciousness or blue magic is saying, damn, I'm down to my $10. I need to figure out how to make this $10 into $20 or I'm going to be broke. So if you got $100, you can start to make something shake. You can make something to start to happen. Because what you going to do with that $100 without the money conscious? You probably going to buy something. Buy it in bulk and try to get your money back or try to double your money. That's the nature of money. That's the consciousness of money. That's the separation between a poor person and a rich person right there. So when we looking at letting go and releasing, we shouldn't look at it like, this is bad. We should look at it like, this is probably what I need right now at this particular time. So the last example for the fives or Gabora would be the breaking down of body processes. So like when you work out, you break down your muscles. And then when you rest, it builds up your muscles. So that's always the craziest shit when you think about working out. To get stronger, you have to literally break down your muscles. You have to really put yourself into a space where where your body needs to heal. So the more that your body heals, the stronger you become. Okay? So as we were talking about the fives, and I just want to have more of a holistic spiritual concept type of show where we're relating these ideas to things that are happening in real life. I want to react to a video by Ian Carroll. And on this video, he's talking about the economic collapse. And I just kind of want to talk about that with y'all because at a certain point, I feel that we as conscious people have to start talking about real shit and making it a point to bring up real life examples instead of like, because when I watch shows, it's like I see people talk about like news and stuff like that, even if they're not qualified, but at the same time, they're informing their audience. So with this platform, I really want to inform y'all and really give y'all real world knowledge. So then y'all can take it into y'all households and move accordingly. Like I feel as though like we all should be figuring out what move we should be making next. One's in the chat if that's a fair assumption to make. Like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done that already. But I feel like we should be figuring out what our next move is in a real way. And this segment of the show is going to be called Fake Money, right? And we're going to show how all of this stock market shit is fake. And another thing that I want to say is that when they say that the economy is crashing, that's a lot to do with like Disney and Apple and AI. What I mean is, it's a lot of stupid shit that we do that don't matter. When the economy crashes, it trims off the fat. So you would never say to a person that lost weight, I mean, you can say it, but for the most part, we be congratulating and we be happy. They go viral on IG when they go from 225 pounds to 150 pounds. We celebrate that. But when we look at the economy collapse, the ways that they play with your mind, we're not celebrating it because we love excess. We adore excess, but reality is we don't need all of the shit. So if the economy does collapse, does it really collapse or does it just simply trim the fat off? So we're going to get into this. This is an 8-minute video. I'm going to stop it from time to time to give it a little breaks for copyright reasons, but I like his videos because even though it's 8 minutes, it never feels like 8 minutes because he's so informative and so thorough. So here we go.
Pop the biggest financial bubble in all of history. And I think I know why. Let's start by talking to our good buddy, Fred. If you don't know, Fred is the official website from the Federal Reserve where they publish all kinds of official economic data. And Fred can tell you a lot of things. Like, for example, that US GDP, the total value of all the stuff that the US makes that's real, is going up slowly, and that US debt is skyrocketing. This is not news to anyone that has eyes. I mean, we've all seen the meme of Jerome Powell and his money printer by now. No matter how you slice it, money's just getting printed. They measure the total money in the system in different ways. They call them M1, M2, M3. M1 is a particularly cute chart. M2 includes more theoretical money that's just numbers in other screens. And so that spike in 2020 is not quite as intense because it has more factors involved. But no matter what you look at, the money supply is going to the moon. But you know what else is going to the moon? Derivatives exposure. Again, GDP is on this chart in green because it's not changing at all, really, while derivatives are skyrocketing. Derivative is the financial term for like placing bets that are just arbitrary that we make up ourselves, not like buying a stock and the stock's value goes up because the company's value goes up. Derivatives are people in the financial institutions or just you and me making bets based upon other things. Like, I bet JP Morgan stock will be worth this much more on that day. I'll put $1,000 on it, which sounds legit because it's, people make bets, but it allows for huge amounts of leverage in the system. Because JP Morgan stock might go up by $1, but we might have bets that mean that changes our bets by.
So real quick, it's this market and it's actual things, right? If I'm selling, if they can basically say, I'm going to simplify this the best way I can. I have a candy store and I will sell one piece of candy, right? Derivative would say, I bet $1,000 that Kyrie's candy store sells one piece of candy. So I sold this piece of candy for $2, made my $2. My stock goes up by $2, but the person that bet on my candy store made $1,000. And so the whole market is then buffered by these derivatives or side bets on actual consumerism. So a good company could make $1 trillion, but have $20 trillion in derivatives associated with it. The problem with derivatives is that it's not based in nothing real but a side bet. So when the economy collapses, generally I'm betting for something. Sometimes you bet against it. But when the economy collapses, what that means is that I lost my bet. So he put out this video before Monday, right? But it still goes to show that this is all planned, but we don't need to be afraid as spiritual people. We just need to understand the science of trimming the fat. One's in the chat, if you trim the fat, you look better. But they get you in, if you lose weight, you ain't gonna have no fat to survive, or whatever the case may be. Like, and we're not even playing these types of games. We're not even in the stock market. We're not even in the derivatives. We're not even a part of these hedge funds. So more or less, you can still make your way in life, irregardless of what they doom and glooming you with in the world today.
Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars. Although in the real world, we're talking millions and billions of dollars. It's an extremely complex topic, but just so you know what we're talking about here, the top 3 financial institutions in the United States are currently sitting on $50 trillion worth of derivative bets each. This chart
50 trillion derivative bets each. Side bets. This is what we basing our economy on. Fucking side bets. And here it is. Like, I will give you the formula on how to make money for yourself in a real way, tangible way. If the economy goes to shit, people will still need shit. It's still billions of people in the world. And that is the true driver of the economy. One's in the chat if that makes sense. When they side bets go to shit and they looking back like, damn, I can't get the fucking Testarossa this year, your ass still gonna have to figure out how you gonna wipe your own ass. And this is so serious. We have been through economic depressions before in the history of civilization, but your ancestors have figured a way through it. So there's no reason to be in panic, fight, or flight fucking now. Get your head on straight, figure out what you want to do, what you can do, who wants it, and give it to them and charge them. If you need an ox, charge an ox. If you need a laptop, charge a laptop. If you need a generator, charge a generator. But charge in reference to what you need. Because if the dollar crashes, you still going to be needing shit. So this is the time to develop skills, talents, and abilities and monetize it. Because when the world goes to shit, the person with the skills, the talents, the abilities, the resources, they're going to be all right. If you get into your doom and gloom, fear, fight or fight type of mentality, you going to fall with the fucking sinking ship.
is in millions of dollars. So 49 million is $49 trillion. And if you notice, their assets column, Goldman Sachs is sitting on $47 trillion of derivatives, and they don't even have $500 billion of actual assets to back up all those bets. Because, you know, when you make a bet, the other side is like, okay, but how do I know you're good for it? And you're like, well, check out my nice car, right? Like the car is your asset that backs up the money that you're promising to pay. So yeah, they're sitting on 100 to 1 leverage right there. And a lot of economists have termed this the everything bubble for good reason. Because as all this money got pumped into the system, it skyrocketed the value of stocks, just all stocks, cryptocurrencies, you name it. But we've also seen huge rises in things like mortgage-backed securities. This is since 2010. You know, these are the things that caused the 2008 housing collapse. Yeah, they're on the up. Oh, and so are student loan asset-backed securities. A security is like a slice of pie where you like put a whole bunch of debts or a whole bunch of things into a pool and you slice it up into little slices and then you sell pieces of it as investments. Like, you know, a company gets sliced up and they sell shares of the company as stocks. Those are securities. So student loan asset-backed securities means when they take everyone's student loans, put them all that debt into a big pool, and then they slice it up into little slices, and then they sell those slices as securities so you can make money off of collective student loan debt. Well, let's be real. You can't make money off of it because you don't know how to do this, but they make money off of it. I think this chart shows the phenomenon a little bit more clearly because it's a new thing. This is what we call financial innovation, folks. Oh, but they're also doing it to your car loans too, obviously, which are at record highs right now. But also consumer credit card debt is also at record highs. And
I mean, it's a crazy thing to have a car, pay $1,000 on that car a month, assurance is 5 to another 1,000, pay rent, and then have a job all in one doozy. Because you need the job to keep the car, to keep the house. And then they're gonna repossess the car gonna break down, and the cycle goes over and over and over again. This type of shit is really fearful. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of fearful type of energy that they creating by hiking all of these prices up, by giving you all of these particular bills and subscriptions. They want you to self-destruct. They want you to act like you can afford a car that you can't afford and get it on credit, which credit is not your money. Credit is not your money. So credit, I mean, cool. You can get your credit score up. You can get a house. You can't afford the house. You don't got $250K for the house. The house is $250,000 and you don't have $250,000. That's okay. I can get a loan. Now you owe $250,000 plus interest. That's America, nigga. And your car is $20,000. You don't have $20K. That's okay. I can get a loan. Now you owe $20,000 and you got to maintenance the car. Niggas get used cars. So what is a used car? A car that already been broke before. Nobody getting rid of a car that work. You getting a used car, that mean that car have been broken down before. So you get it, it might ride for 6 months to a year. You back at fucking square one. But you got the used car because that's what you could afford. That's better than getting a car that you can't afford that loses value as soon as you leave the lot. Like, this whole system is set up for you to be a slave. A slave. Worse slave than your ancestors on the cotton field. Because now you owe your life to these people. You gotta work. You gotta work to get the house. You gotta work to keep the house. Right? Only time you don't have to work is when you transition out the body. Because that car keep you in debt. That house keep you in debt. And any other thing that you want to do, you be jealous at somebody that's taking a trip to St. Lucia. They got it on a credit card. They couldn't have afforded it either, sis. They just had a 20,000 credit limit on that card. And trust me, they're not going to pay it back. So you don't even need to feel jealous over somebody maxing out their credit cards to stun on IG.
You all already know this shit. We all know that we're fucked. But the point is that right now, everything's fucked all at once. And the stock market's insane pump over the last decade or two. And a huge amount of that value in the market is actually just derivative value.
The huge amount of money to crypto, to stocks is derivatives, side bets. Fake money, not real money. So of course this shit is going to collapse.
Of made up money, of bets propping everything up with fake money that's not actually real, just making everything look like it's really valuable. Because in the financial world, if everyone's making side bets on Apple going up, that increases Apple's value because everyone's hyped. Apple stock goes up, everyone gets more hyped, they make more side bets that Apple stock will go up. You see what I'm saying there? Just if you hadn't looked closely and read yet, that line says 600 trillion. But some estimates put derivative exposure in the quadrillions, which is a stupid number. And I phrase it that way because we don't actually know the size of the market because over-the-counter derivatives are not regulated and they have very lenient reporting standards, thanks to a certain guy that we'll talk about in a second. And all of this has been carefully executed by a small set of financial executives and power people who love to act like they don't understand the basics of inflation and the economy, and they just could never have predicted the situation that we find ourselves in, but have convenient resumes of being total stooges for the Federal Reserve despite now working for the government, because those two organizations are not. Or the chair of the Fed, who is the master of, I just didn't know printing money would cause inflation. Because I'm sure Jerome Powell did not understand the most basic facts about how money works when George H.W. Bush named him Undersecretary of the Treasury in 1992. So to clarify, he went from the private sector working for investment banks to the public sector working for the government, back to the private sector working for the Carlyle Group during the Iraq War. There's no rabbit hole to be done on that whole can of shit. And now back to the public sector in charge of the Federal Reserve. Or is that the private sector? I'm not really clear on that one. And then, of course, the guy that's in charge of regulating the whole thing, Gary Gensler, the chair of the Securities Exchange Commission.
Peep how he's the 33rd chair of the SEC, Securities and Exchange Commission. So basically, if they want to make anything stop as far as money, they have the authority to do it. But understand this is all secret society, secret coup to run this country, to take control of your resources as an Aboriginal Moor. Never get that part confused. This is your land, this is your ancestors' land, and these people have set up a whole entire government on top of your shit and will not invite you to the motherfucking party. So much so that your ass got to get up on your feet and goddamn stand on your feet for 8 hours just so you don't motherfucking starve. Think about how crazy that shit is, Noble. Think about how these people just in these governmental spaces and places, and we sitting on here trying to figure out who the fuck we gonna vote for, where our next meal is coming from, and you are a descendant. When we get into this nakshatra, when we get into this spiritual shit, when we deal with this truth or stranger than fiction with Trump shit in one of these segments, we gonna get into it, but this is just the setup. It's a reason why all this shit is happening, and I'm pretty sure it has a lot to do with you as being a melanated person. That's what we used to do. Bobby Hemmett, Brother Panic, Phil Valentine. They used to cover the news, what was happening, and they would relate it to what's going on to us living in the goddamn struggle. We've been seduced by social media to not even act like we struggling. We want to stunt on social media, but until we stunt, guess what we doing? Struggling. Why? Because it's a such thing as a SEC, a Securities and Exchange Commission. And if they wanted to give your ass $1 million today, they could. If they want to give you a damn bank draft tomorrow to everybody in your family, they could. Because guess what they doing with their family? Giving them goddamn bank drafts, them direct deposits that you don't know shit about, but you could just go to the northern part of your goddamn city and town and say, oh, this is a whole different level of money, huh? It's almost like the shit just getting drafted into their accounts and they could just buy this shit, huh? How the fuck? Go to the northern part of any city and town, go into the northern suburbs, and you're going to see a different level of wealth, and that's what we call government. Government, private, government. It is no motherfucking difference. What the fuck? It ain't no difference. We is on the outside looking in talking about, I ain't voting for Trump. I ain't voting for Kamala. Think about how stupid we look as a people, y'all.
Which is like the financial regulatory institution of the United States. Well, he worked at Goldman Sachs for 18 years before taking the little revolving door into the government, where he's worked for Goldman Sachs ever since, to be clear. But back in the turn of the century, Gensler worked with Lawrence Summers to push for passing the Commodity Futures Modernization Act, which exempted over-the-counter derivatives from regulation. You know, these over-the-counter derivatives that are currently worth hundreds of trillions of dollars of unchecked, Lord knows what kind of leverage. He also did a stellar job of specifically failing to regulate the crypto industry in very suspect-looking ways, going after every legitimate actor except for the dude that broke everything, who totally didn't have weird ties to, like, never mind. In case you didn't know, in the build-up to 2008, the big boys knew what was coming because they were the ones inflating that bubble, and they popped it at a very specific time with very specific actions. And they timed it very specifically to bring in our Lord and Savior, Barack Obama, who promised to regulate the banks. And that did not go well. And today, the situation is 10 times worse, and the whole world is 10 times as fucked. And throughout all of history, there's only one thing that solves major economic crises on a global scale. But this time, a global war isn't enough to fix it, because it's not just a global economic crisis, it's a currency collapse. And all throughout history, a currency collapse leads to the rise of a new currency. And who have you heard talking an awful lot over the last year about introducing a new kind of currency that's going to make the world a much better place? And if we're being honest, it's looking more and more like in 2024, they're either going to let Trump win or do something really shady to make the election not happen. Because they're actually trying to run 80-whatever-year-old Biden against him. And what better time to pop the largest financial bubble in all of human history than right before you let Trump have office again? Just think about it.
The about all this is
So we in this world, in this country right now with fake money, and we also are under a fake government right now. Right now, as we speak, we're under a fake government because Joe Biden is still alive. But he not conscious to make actual executive decisions. That means that somebody else is making executive decisions, and it's not Kamala Harris. When we look at the current regime that we are under, it has to be a coup. It has to be controlled opposition. And I feel like we should not separate this conversation into Democratic, Republican. We should separate it into America versus foreign entities that have invaded this country. So this is Tulsi Gabbard. Tulsi Gabbard, you might want to do your Googles on her, do your YouTubes on her. Tulsi Gabbard, she absolutely cooked Kamala Harris when they did the Democratic debates. Kamala Harris was ranked 13th out of all Democratic possibilities for the president in 2020. She did not make it to the primary. So her being vice president is not because the people fuck with her. It's because the people who are behind her pulling the strings fuck with her. So when you vote, like it's the CIA, it's the FBI, and foreign representatives, entities that hate us, hate what we stand for, because we come in the name of God and the Most High. They don't come in the name of the Most High. So maybe you don't understand or overstand, but your heart is beating, the blood is pumping through your veins because of God. You are motivated to do something in your life in reference to your purpose. there is a potential assault on you, but the assault is like this. It's like a movie. There's going to be an antagonist. And 10 times out of 10, in some movies, you will notice that the antagonist is the actual main character. Soon as he start believing in himself, soon as he realized that he have a purpose, he topples over the antagonist like easy peasy. There have been prophets that have existed in this world. Noble Drew Ali, Fred Hampton, Patrice Lumumba O'Neill. But we still don't get it. And it's cool. But at a certain point, we got to realize the difference between us and them. So this is Tulsi Gabbard. This is not as such a long video as our last one, but I just want y'all to listen to what she says about the government being fake and not real. I mean, we all know this as conscious people, but this is happening in real life, in real time. The border is still open and we still send in billions of dollars to Ukraine.
The troubling part about all this is it's not even people who we vote for. When you look at what happened when President Biden had that infamous debate with President Trump, it exposed the reality that many of us have known for a long time, which is that President Biden has not been the guy calling the shots. He has not been the guy making the decisions, nor has it been Kamala Harris, for that matter, nor will it be if she is elected president. It is this cabal of, the Democrat elite, the woke warmongers, made up of the likes of Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama and, Tony Blinken and Jake Sullivan and, people who are in the military industrial complex, people who profit from us being in a constant state of war. It is those in the administrative state and the national security state who derive more authorities and ability to take away our liberty when we are in a heightened state of crisis or war. It is their friends and billionaires and people in media who all derive their power from being able to have a figurehead that essentially they can control.
That's the that's the name of the game. And it's so brilliant though, when you really think about it, how brilliant it is. Because everybody then finds their favorite player, right? Their favorite team. Who they love the most, who they like, who they don't like. And it's like, who is behind them, putting them on this stage? Who is the one that's giving them the voice box to say what they say? Who's giving them their talking points? Y'all rooting for people y'all don't even know that you're rooting for. That's why I call this section mass shadow projection. And I'm going to relate it to the energy of today. So the energy of today is Mercury retrograde conjunct Venus, conjunct the first decan of Leo, but also one of the nakshatras of Leo is MAGA. Make America Great Again is Donald Trump's slogan that turned into his hive, MAGA. But Donald Trump's ascendant is what? The MAGA nakshatra. Now, what is an ascendant? An ascendant is where you are headed, where you are going. It is where you enter into your knowingness or beingness. It is your ascendant, is what you ultimately settle into. So people, I say all of that to say, motherfuckers hate Donald Trump. I don't know Donald Trump. I don't like him, nor do I hate him. because I don't know him. But for people to just hate somebody, people hate Kamala Harris. Once again, I don't know her. I don't hate her. How can I hate somebody that I don't know? I could meet you in real life and we could be cool as fuck. I don't want to ruin that opportunity before I meet you. I'm not going to let social media and these screens make me form an opinion about somebody. But this results back into what we were talking about earlier, inner conflict. 5 of Wands. Most people feel shitty within themselves, not making the right decisions for themselves. So their natural disposition is to hate you and Donald Trump and Kamala. People hate Kamala, Donald Trump, Joe Biden, Barack Obama. People hate all of these particular figureheads, and we can't even see the forest from the trees. They are invading this land. They are invading your mind, and they're trying to take away everything from you. And they're doing it to a way to make you do it to yourself. Your ass would be on goddamn TikTok all fucking day. You did it to yourself. Nobody told you open on that app and scroll on that stupid ass app. I might post on TikTok, but I don't scroll on that bitch. I might post on Instagram. Scrolling on Instagram, I feel the brain cells leaving my body. I might scroll for 2 seconds and say, nope, can't do it. They don't give a fuck about your brain on them damn apps. You do it to yourself. So, once again, all the decisions that you made, you thought you was going to get away with. I can do whatever I want. Let me get on this dating app. Let me get clapped. Let me waste my days getting clapped by the hood niggas. I like hood niggas. The hood niggas don't show up for their kids, don't give a fuck about you. And now you hate all men. Don't hate your decision making. Don't even imagine that you could have made better decisions. Nope, I hate all niggas. Clock that T. Niggas ain't shit. Clock that. Period. Point blank, poo poo. You've been chasing hoes your whole 20s, ain't got no motion, but now you mad at your goddamn supervisor because he's a dick telling you, come on, Frank, you taking 20 minutes on your goddamn lunch break. You know you only get 15. You ready to fight this nigga, not ready to fight yourself because you made the decision to be a loser. You don't look at yourself and say, I'm a loser, let me turn myself into a winner. You don't look at yourself and say, man, I'm an ain't shit bitch for real. Let me actually be the type of girl that I really want to be. What type of girl do I want to be? Oh shit, I was moving totally inside of male validation. I don't even know who I am. Damn. Is it the male's fault or is it my fault? Damn, I got to figure out how to validate myself in my own actions. Damn. It's so many things that you could do on the positive side to put yourself in a better position that when you don't and you need a politician to make your life better, you behind the fucking 8 ball, dude. Fuck Trump. Fuck Trump for what? What'd he do to you? Trump ain't nobody special more than you. In your life, your kids, they gonna remember your actions, not Donald Trump's. What we talking about is projecting the shadow self. Ooh, I don't even know what this word is. I went to public school, y'all. Surreptitiously, in a way that attempts to avoid notice or attention. Hold on. In a way that attempts to avoid notice or attention secretively. Okay. Projecting the shadow self is, let's do this from the back. a secretive. Projecting a shadow is secretive. We don't want to show people. Hold on, why did they use this damn word? I'm lost, man. That goddamn public education fucked my brain up, y'all. God damn, man. What the hell? So repetitiously, projecting the shadow self is surreptitiously seeing our darkness in other. Okay, projecting the shadow self is secretly seeing our darkness in others. So when you hate Donald Trump, you see your darkness in Donald Trump. When you hate Kamala Harris, you see your darkness in Kamala Harris. When you hate Umar Johnson, you see your darkness in Umar Johnson. When you hate Hood Mystic, you see your darkness in the Hood Mystic. When you hate your mama, you see your darkness in your mama. When you hate your daddy, you see your darkness in your daddy. That's what projecting the shadow self is. No, I have a reason to hate. I have a reason to control this anger. The problem with that is that you're going to create that situation around you. So, shadow psychology defines the dark side of our personality. It consists of primitive and negative thoughts or feelings like jealousy, greed, confusion, sadness, etc. When we perceive ourselves as the loser, failure, evil, or undesirable, a perception as such becomes a part of our shadow, meaning that we don't actually address it. We don't take the loser and come a winner. We don't turn the failure and turn it into a success. We don't turn the evil into good. We don't turn the undesirable to desirable. Ooh, I'm fat and I'm ugly. You don't even go to the gym. You just be sad about it. Like, maybe I'll just eat more ice cream, right? So, in reference to eating ice cream every day or going to a nutritionist, having the will to exercise, get a gym membership, work out every single day, right? Motherfuckers don't want to do that. So shadow work is, I'm undesirable as fuck. That's okay though. I'm taking my ass to the gym. Ooh, I've been mean as hell to my husband for no reason. I'ma suck his dick later. I've been a failure at my life. I've been playing video games my whole life. I'm pawning my PS5 and I'm never playing videos again. I'm a loser. I've never been successful. Why am I a loser? I don't research. I'm not well versed. I didn't practice. I didn't rehearse. Nobody helped me. Get yourself into environments where you become real and accountable about what the fuck you're doing. You have to get out that loser mentality, because these mentalities, if not corrected, they are self-fulfilling prophecies. That then, how do we fulfill these prophecies with no obstruction? Because these mentalities, we don't accept them. Within our conscious mind, they come into a part of our shadow. And the only way that we see them is when we see Donald Trump and we get into, oh, I can't hate that. I can't believe the Hood Mystic is talking about Donald Trump on his live stream. I hate that nigga. I do not want to deal with Donald Trump. And you ever see a girl hate her baby daddy? To like hate him, don't even want to talk to him, say nothing to him. Oh, I can't stand him. I hate him. What is that going to do between you and your kid? Like, how is that going to help y'all? I just hate him so much. Okay. At what point are you going to do shadow work? So you're going to see this a lot in the world, especially when it comes to Donald Trump. So there's some weird shit going on with this, right? I told y'all, Donald Trump ascendant, I'm going to try to go through this. Ascendant is influenced by the MAGA nakshatra. But then when you type Donald Trump, MAGA, I'm just getting into the reasons why I think they really hate him. Make America great again. But the only way you make America great again is when you restore the ancient Moroccan Empire. That's the only way that these goddamn people can do it. All right, so let's look at, hold on. let's look at. I just thought this was interesting. I'm gonna just tap on this. Tap it real quick. Just the Magna Chakra within itself. Prominence, royalty, power, status, honor, near-death experiences. So Donald Trump, he checked that box off. Some people say it's a hoax. Some people say it's real. I mean, they did a thing on YouTube or Twitter where they had this, they recreated it, and the type of bullet that it was, if it get anywhere near your body, it's going to literally explode. The speed that is going, the size of the bullet, he wouldn't have just had a cut on his ear. More or less, his whole ear would have exploded, right? So some people say it's a hoax. I don't know. I wasn't there, but the simulation say it was a near-death experience, and I would feel like the simulation have more control over this energy. Another way that you can tap into the Magna Chakra is through out-of-body experiences, right? Near death, out of body just represent points in time where you get closer to your soul, closer to your ancestors. So in reference to, so it says respectful to ancestors. Donald Trump is in the position that he is in because of ancestors that are spiritually inclined, that are generous. Donald Trump is not a self-created man. Donald Trump is a prophecy from this man, John George Trump. In mythology, John preceded Jesus. In theology, John was the one who gave Jesus his sauce. The person who gave Donald Trump his sauce was John George Trump. So when you type Donald Trump, John G. Trump, and CIA, you get an official document from the CIA. One's in the chat. Official CIA document from the Pentagon, March 2nd, 1992. This is when this document was released. The problem with niggas is that they don't read. Please clock that. It's so much going on in this world that we don't take the time to sit and read. We might actually have some knowledge about the magic and the reality of the spiritual life if you would just sit down and read. None of this is made up. So when these documents were took, it was 1943. So from 1943 to 1992, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, hold on, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. 50 years, American people sat in the dark. But then in 1992, it wasn't like your grandma or your mom said, guess what, y'all? John G. Trump went through Nikola Tesla's warehouse and figured out all his time traveling technology. 50 years ago, it was under wraps. So this can be distributed and disseminated. John G. Trump, he died in the 80s. So he could have gathered something from Nikola Tesla. And when we talk about John G. Trump, he worked at MIT. So you don't work at MIT, you don't teach at MIT if you're not a very smart person. So the creation of time travel technology, the only person who could understand it was Nikola Tesla. And the only person that got this knowledge was Dr. John G. Trump, Office of Scientific Research and Development of Massachusetts Institute of Technology, located in Cambridge, Massachusetts, right next to Harvard. They went through all of his papers. The following papers, which are regarded as typical of Nikola Tesla's writing and thoughts from the period of 1925 to 1942, were removed from his warehouse for the purpose of record and are listed below in the random order in which they were found, together with a brief individual abstract. So none of these things are the real thing. I'm pretty sure the real thing was never given to public consumption. They break all of this shit down in each exhibit: the possibilities of electrostatic generators, reactive force of glycerin and dynamite, the process of degasifying and refining purifying metals. That's alchemy right there. The generation of high voltage and the acceleration of charged particles. That's CERN right there. The art of telegeodynamics. That's geomancy. The art of producing terrestrial motions at a distance. That is out of body experiences. This is the Magna Nakshatra. Near-death experiences, out of body experiences. CIA got whole gateway files where they showing you how your mind creates your reality, how your mind creates your reality, and all they can do is interfere in the fucking process. And y'all niggas trying to figure out, who should I vote for, Harris or Trump? No, what reality should you be trying to create right now, nigga? Because the CIA is on some shit where they trying to figure out the human body. I seen some shit where your whole body connected to the internet. Your whole body is connected to fucking Wi-Fi at this point. But since you don't read, and for a lot of shit for niggas, oh, I don't believe in none of that. A lot of niggas got confirmation biases. What you mean you are more? Because that's the only thing we could be. We couldn't have been nothing else. We are indigenous, aborigines, autochthonous to this land. And the whole point of this shit is to separate you from that. So you can get a goddamn job and work until you can't work no more. And they going just, your parents have kids and they give you a birth certificate and a social security number. What do you need to get a job? When you first got a job, what did you need? When you first got a job, what did you need? They already using your body as an antenna. They already using your body as a signal. The phone is just a what's it call that? Placebo effect. You need a social security, you need a birth certificate. Your parents gave you that. So your ass can go get a job. Your parents sold you into slavery before you even knew how to think. Social security is an application. You got to apply for a social security card. New art of projecting concentrated, non-dispersive energy through natural media. Mind control. Tremendous new power soon to be unleashed. Exhibit H. So they got this, the undated memorandum written after Tesla's 79th birthday, describing several discoveries which he believed he made. The first related to a dynamic theory of gravity, which is described as not yet completed. The second stated as a physical truth, the belief that there is no energy in matter other than that received from the environment. So you are a child of the Most High, and you couldn't be nothing else other than that. You could create your reality, and you can create your reality for good or for worse. You can get your ass kicked because you want to get your ass kicked. That's how goddamn powerful you are. There is no energy and matter other than that received from the environment. The environment is abundant natural phenomena, growth and development, transformation. A caterpillar can turn to a goddamn butterfly. You can transform your life into any formation that you want. You actually have to sit with yourself long enough to goddamn realize, read into some shit, get into the spirituality of things, because the internet of things will never be ahead of the spirituality of things. This is where the victory has already been won for us. So a deeper reality to this presidential election is Donald Trump, Trump's of like tarot cards, but then Elon Musk, he have a company. What is Elon Musk's company called? Tesla. Ain't that weird how Donald Trump's uncle, we went through a CIA document where Donald Trump's uncle dealt with Nikola Tesla's technology thoroughly. Elon Musk creates a car company utilizing self-driving technology, electric vehicle technology. Puts out a car better than any other car. The electrical car that people most buy is Tesla's. But the car name is Tesla. But then you double back and say Elon Musk donates $45 million to Donald Trump's campaign a month? Or do Trump just get a percentage of the fucking companies because Trump gave him the technology to start the goddamn company because Trump know the technology because Trump is the time traveler? It's not far-fetched because we can look at Donald Trump and see an unimpressive white man, an unimpressive Caucasian, put the whole world into a frenzy. The only way that I can explain that is this nigga must be a motherfucking time traveler that knows shit. The Mar-a-Lago estate, Mar-a-Lago plus Ultra Beyond. This is Moorish technology that Donald Trump has. Portals and gateways. That technology is a golf course. A golf course is nothing but a mound formational supernatural highway. It's a pyramid complex, right? They disguise it as a golf course, but really it's a portal. So Donald Trump is all up on this shit, and the reason why I'm saying all of this shit, not because I love Donald Trump, but damn, the truth is always stranger than fiction. Understanding QAnon, understanding Project Manhattan. All right, Project Manhattan. What is that, Kyrie? Or Manhattan Project. They don't be having all of the they don't be having all of the details. This right here, the Manhattan Project. It don't got nothing to do with a bomb. What they would do is they would sit psychics in this seat right here. And then they would go on interdimensionary travels in this seat. It was all technologically set up, like with the Nikola Tesla energy shit. And it would go into the future, and the psychic could come back, and he'll go to the white boy. He tell the white boy, man, you getting your motherfucking ass kicked in the future. And the white boy be like, get another psychic. They kept getting psychics. And the psychics are going to the future. The psychics will come back like, man, what happened? Yeah, y'all got y'all motherfucking ass kicked. They be like, no, and they couldn't figure it out. And now you see it where these people controlled the election, controlled the whole society, let millions of migrants into this bitch, like really trying to destroy our way of life into a space where we didn't even realize how good we had it. If y'all don't see how this shit is turning and turning fast, and it's two things, right? It's two things. It's this shit is crazy, but it's also we going to win this shit anyways. Because you can't defeat God. Right? I gotta go back to the CIA document. That's some powerful shit. I'm gonna remember that. Hold on, let me see if I can find it. Nigga come through with a lot of words. Nigga be like, oh, I ain't about to read that shit. I'm broke. I ain't got no money to be reading no shit, hood. You said read. You don't got a TikTok or nothing, hood? Damn, I gotta find that shit, y'all. Y'all gotta give me a moment. I gotta find that shit was too profound. So I forgot it already. Memory bad. It might have been in the first page. No, it wasn't in the first page. So we going down. I think it was one that didn't, nope, it was one that didn't have a title. It was to the bottom. All right, I think there is no energy in matter other than that received from the environment. You can't defeat God. Manhattan Project, right? They had shit to do with a bomb. They just kept running them psychics in through that bitch, and they was like, and they don't like that. QAnon, same thing. Back to the Future, same thing. If you got the ability, and another thing that they showed you, Doctor Strange, End of Infinity War. Yeah, y'all remember this scene? This is exactly, and how do this tie into Nikola Tesla and Doctor Strange? Doctor Strange, Nikola Tesla, Pascal Beverly Randolph, same energy. And they took Pascal Beverly Randolph off. He came back as Nikola Tesla. They took him away, and I don't know who, and I'm imagining, I don't know. Maybe they got out of the reincarnation and said, all right, we got to do something different because they keep taking us out. So we going to just give it to this white boy, give it to Trump, and Trump going to finesse his way through there. It's all set up. We're going to put him on NBC, have him do his little show real quick. Once the show died down, we're going to push him right into the presidential. He's going to be president. They're going to take him off, but he's going to come back, come stronger. This is our only option. And the ancestors like, we're going to give it all to this unimpressive Caucasoid? Yeah, man, we got to do it. Like, fuck it, man. That's our only option. That's our only option. It's the only one that's going to make it through. Oh, man, it couldn't be. What about Chadwick Boseman? They going to take him out with stomach cancer. Fred Hampton. What about? Nah, they took him out. Malcolm X. Now, Malcolm X, he'll be a good one. Yeah, they took him out. He got his own people to take him out. All right, shoot. Martin Luther King. Let's try him. They got him goddamn at Memphis. All right, let's try rappers. Good idea. Let's try rappers. What about Tupac? Let's give him the mysteries. They killed Tupac. All right, let's try Biggie. They killed Biggie. Fuck, man. Damn, they keep killing everybody. Yeah, we gotta give it to this unimpressive ass white boy. Fuck. It's going to send cross messages. People not gonna like them. Yeah, I know, but that's all we got. All right, here goes nothing. But at the end of the day, I'm like, damn, this shit gonna work out. I know it's gonna work out because I understand and understand the mythology. I've seen the movie. I know how the movie going to end type shit, but it's also interesting as an exercise in spiritual development. Remaining conscious in these particular times, it brings me back to my core in spiritual development, right? And so one of my core teachings, and this is going to be like my closing word segment of the broadcast. One's in the chat if you like the broadcast today. You know, I'm giving you the spiritual information, spiritual conversation, relating it to the real world, giving you the as above, so below side of things, and then relating it to you, what you can do to get up off of your ass and make a difference in this world. One's in the chat if you like the broadcast, and if you really like it, like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel if you have not already. One of my foundational spiritual teachings that brought me into consciousness is a lot of those things, but one of those main things that I really sat and meditated with is Ecclesiastes 1. And the overall subject matter is everything is meaningless. And once I fully got this, I really broke away from all of the chains that were binding my ego. And with all of the things that I've been discussing and researching and bringing forth today, it brought me back to this fundamental idea. Everything is meaningless. Meaningless, meaningless, says the teacher, utterly meaningless. Everything is meaningless. What does man gain from all his labor at which he toils under the sun? Generations come and generations go, but the earth remains forever. The sun rises and the sun sets and hurry back to where it rises. The wind blows to the south, turns to the north, round and round it goes, ever returning on its course. All streams flow into the sea, yet the sea is never full. To the place the streams come from, there they return again. All things are worrisome, more than one can say. The eye never has enough of seeing, nor the ear its fill of hearing. What has been will be again. What has been done will be done again. There is nothing new under the sun. Is there anything of which one can say, look, this is something new? It was here already long ago. It was here before our time. There is no remembrance of men of old. And even those who are yet to come will not be remembered by those who follow. I, the teacher, the king over Israel and Jerusalem, devoted myself to study and explore by wisdom all that was done under heaven. What a heavy burden God has laid on men. I've seen all things that are done under the sun. All of them are meaningless, a chasing after the wind. What is twisted cannot be straightened. What is lacking cannot be counted. I thought to myself, look, I have grown and increased in wisdom. More than anyone who has ruled over Jerusalem before me, I've experienced much of the wisdom and knowledge. Then I applied to myself the understanding of wisdom and also madness and folly. But I learned that this too is a chasing after the wind. For with much wisdom comes much sorrow. The more knowledge, the more grief. And so there's actually a study that says, a new study rather, the more intelligent, the less happy you become. Right? Because you know how this shit works, and you know that people are more prone to project than they are to actually understand, and vibrate to what you have going on in life. So I don't mean that everything that you accomplish in life, everything that you aspire to be is meaningless. At a certain level, it is. But I'm talking about everything outside of you that you don't have, that you see in other people, is meaningless. The time that you spend kicking your own ass all day for no reason is meaningless. It takes some time to really get into the science of self. Spirituality is the science of you, but you can consume yourself, you can immerse yourself in the science of you and move that energy forward into different, more expansive things. And this is what and like I said, this was one of my first spiritual understandings and ideas. It didn't stop me from spiritual developing, but it removes all of the fat, right? It cuts away all of the bullshit and allows me to focus on what's truly important. And that's me and my spiritual development, learning who I am at a spiritual level. So please, it's Mercury Day. Take some time, study yourself, get into the science of you, because us as a society, for the foreseeable future, we are cooked. It's a lot of spiritual um possession going on in the ways of dealing with melanated people. And if we could stop it, I'm sure we would. But the best thing that we can do is take care of ourselves, tap into our own spiritual development, and get into the process of what we are trying to do in this life. Whatever that is, be sure to share it. Join us on the Discord. Join us. I'm on IG at the Hood Mystic. DM me if you need any assistance. Anything that I said in this video that interests you, give me 1 second. This shit is getting on my nerves. Anything that I said that interests you, you want to tap into, DM me on IG. I've been wanting to do a show like this for a while, but it's just like not just kind of just bare bones and then just kind of getting into like forcing myself to do the lower thirds, to put the video together, you know, because it's shows like that I watch that I like, and I'm just like I can do it for my audience and deal with my subject matter and do it in my own unique way. So all of this takes time, energy, and for people to watch it, that's really a satisfying feeling. But watching it is one level, enjoying it is a whole nother level, and I really do hope you enjoyed it. Hope you feel inspired to do something in reference to your spirit. And that's what I hope every day. You get a little closer to seeing who you are at a spiritual level. It's not about me. It's not about what I got going on. It's all about what you. It's not about what the government got going on. It's all about you and your connection itself. That's the overall message of Blue Magic, is learning to connect with your higher self is not no broke nigga shit. You can't evoke your higher self and say, yeah, my higher self want me to just be a broke ass nigga out here in the streets because that's my life path. It does not work like that, because your higher self wants to explore and live life to its fullest. And in order to do it, you need money to do it. So whatever that looks like, rupees, yen, pesos, dollar bills, goats, cows, dildos, I don't know, whatever your form of currency is, I wish that to you in abundance, prosperity to you, your family, and I hope that everybody has a wonderful, wonderful day. I'm in the process of writing this book, so that's why the daily energies have been a little sparse, but I'm really excited about the book and really excited about how it's coming together. So, with that being said, get the pre-orders if you haven't already. Supporting this channel is supporting me, of course, but it's also supporting you, because everything that I write with you in mind, and really just understanding this. And it's a book, so it requires reading, it requires thought process, but of course I'm giving you the study guides, giving you the journals, so you can really organize it within your mind, see it in real life. This is a different way of making money. This is a spiritual mindset approach. I've been reading books such as The Power of the Subconscious Mind, uh, The Trick to Money is Having Some, uh, The Secret, just all of these particular books in reference to metaphysics, but I always felt like it was something missing. So I'm just providing that missing link in all of the financial metaphysical books that I've been reading my whole entire life. And some of them work, some of them don't work. So I'm trying to fill in the holes and give people a concise, clear way so they can figure out how to make money. Is it a get rich quick scheme book? No. Is it going to require you time, effort, and resources to possibly manifest this desire of making a lot of money? Yes. But are you moving in the direction? Probably not. So you at least want to be moving in that direction before you start to knock the whole process. But just putting that out there, man. I'm gonna push this book for the rest of the month. So hopefully the infomercial wasn't too bad. Hopefully I give you enough good content to not be so pissed off at the infomercials, but at the same time, if you don't promote yourself, don't expect somebody else to promote you. All right. So with all of that being said, I'm gonna check the chat. Happy y'all enjoyed it. And yeah, man, I will catch y'all on the flip side on the next video. Peace, love. Yes. White Rabbit site, Colombian Exchange. We got the forever sale going on Colombian Exchange. Whatever you buy, save 15%. No promo code needed. Stay tuned in and tapped in. You know we coming through with the weekend deals at White Rabbit Psychedelics. Those go very crazy. So appreciate all y'all support for that. Just a regular, normal guy that put his spirit first and live in those rewards. So if you can take anything from me, please take the fact that I chose spirit over anything. And that's where all my success comes from. Trust in God. Okay. So if anything you can take from me, take that. Trust God, allow God to lead you, and you will never go wrong. This has been another episode of the Daily Energy Reading. I'm your host, Kyrie Hassan, the Hood Mystic Anthony, and I will catch y'all on the flip side. Peace.
You are traveling with the Hood Mystic. Time to tap in now. You are now tapped in with the